when the Korani recon assembly detected an unknown ship slipping out of hyperspace near their border. Most of the crew expected nothing unusual. Strange signals appeared often in this quiet region, usually coming from unregistered traders or lost survey ships. Commander Lerk believed this was another harmless case. But when the image of the ship slowly formed on their screens, the entire bridge grew silent. The vessel did not match anything in their database. It was larger than most military cruisers, yet it moved with the slow confidence of a ship that had nothing to fear. Its hull looked scarred, almost battered, as though it had survived storms of metal and fire. Bands of metal crossed its frame at odd angles, as if built for pressure no one could imagine. When the Korani scanners attempted to read its structure, they returned nothing but static and strange pulses. Commander Lerk leaned forward, his thin hands tightening on the console. He had served for 30 years and thought he had seen every type of ship in the region, but this one felt wrong, unsettling. It was like staring at a beast pretending to sleep. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. The Korani were not known for fear, but something about the unknown vessel made them instinctively lower their voices. The communication officer suggested sending an envoy drone, a harmless probe meant to show peaceful intent. Lerk agreed and issued the order. The drone detached from the Korani ship, blinking softly as it drifted toward the mysterious vessel. What none of them knew was that they were approaching Earth's new deep space cruiser, the Horizon Dawn. It was one of the most ambitious human creations, designed to explore the unknown and survive any threat. Inside that towering ship, Captain Aaron Blake watched the alien probe on the main screen with calm eyes. He stood tall, his expression patient but alert. His executive officer, Megan Rivera, stood beside him, keeping an eye on the details the captain trusted her to handle. On the bridge of the Horizon Dawn, the mood was very different. Humans were used to danger. They had grown up on a world full of storms, quakes, predators, and elements that pushed their bodies to their limits. Their ships reflected that nature. The crew studied the approaching drone with interest. Some wondered if it was friendly. Others wondered if it was a scout for something more dangerous. Captain Blake chose a non-aggressive stance but ordered the ship to stay ready. No one wanted trouble, but no one wanted to be caught unprepared either. The alien drone scanned the Horizon Dawn, but its sensors could not read the ship's core. Human engineers had learned long ago that surviving the universe meant building machines that did not easily reveal their weaknesses. What the Korani detected seemed impossible. No clear readings, no shield emissions, and no visible weapons that matched galactic designs. Commander Lerk and his team began to worry. This ship looked too advanced for a new species, and yet no known power claimed it. He ordered a deeper scan. Again, the systems returned nothing but static. Commander Lerk grew more tense. He felt as though the unknown ship was watching them, evaluating them, waiting for something. He opened a channel and attempted a greeting. His voice reached out into the space between the two ships, carried on frequencies meant to be understood by almost any species. But the unknown ship did not answer. Inside the Horizon Dawn, Communication Officer Sam Carter listened carefully. The alien message washed through their system in a language no one recognized. Automatic translation systems worked on it, but progress was slow. Captain Blake remained patient. He did not want to respond too quickly and make a mistake. Human first contact protocols required caution. The universe was vast, and humans had learned not every species was friendly. Meanwhile, Megan Rivera studied the drones and the distant movement of the alien ship. She noted the tension patterns in their flight. They were nervous, maybe even scared. She quietly said to the captain that the aliens might think humans were hiding something. Blake agreed. It was hard to show peaceful intent when your ship was built like a fortress. In the Korani vessel, fear grew with each passing minute. Their scanners still could not break the strange static around the mysterious warship. Usually, unknown ships had flaws or signatures that revealed their energy type or weapon structure, but this one felt silent and unreadable. The science officer attempted to send a second message, trying a simpler frequency. No response. The Korani crew began to wonder if the unknown ship was ignoring them or simply unable to understand. Commander Lerk struggled to calm himself. He ordered the drone to move closer for a visual scan. But the moment the drone nudged within a certain distance, the Horizon Dawn's defensive system triggered a warning flash. The drone stopped instantly, its guidance system freezing in place. The Korani bridge erupted in shock. None of them had touched the controls. The unknown ship had overridden the drone without even sending a signal their equipment could detect. Commander Lerk swallowed hard. It was the first time in his career that a non-Korani ship had seized one of their probes. Inside the Horizon Dawn, the system flagged the drone as a potential threat. The ship did not destroy it, though. Instead, the automated defenses simply forced it to stop. Captain Blake ordered the ship to keep the drone intact. There was no reason to scare the aliens more than necessary. He opened a channel, speaking calmly into the system. His voice was carried in a simple, clear tone. They did not know if the aliens understood English, but it was the best they could do. "Unknown vessel, we are conducting peaceful exploration. We mean no harm." The Horizon Dawn broadcast the message, hoping translation systems might help. But the alien ship did not respond. In the Korani bridge, Blake's message came through as fragments of unfamiliar sound. The translation system worked hard to make sense of the speech. Slowly, the system pieced together meaning. Commander Lerk finally understood the words. The unknown ship claimed it meant no harm, but he still found himself unable to relax. The ship was too large, too strong, too strange. No developing species should have a ship like this. He wondered if this was a trick. The rest of the Korani crew shared his fear. The unknown ship remained still, as though waiting for them to decide what to do. The silence made everything feel more dangerous. The science officer noted that the ship carried no visible fleet insignia. It bore no markings of empire or alliance. This only deepened the mystery. Who built it? Why was it here? How could a species powerful enough to create such a ship be unknown? Back on the Horizon Dawn, the humans discussed the aliens' silence. Some worried that the aliens were offended. Others thought the aliens were frightened. Captain Blake suspected the truth was somewhere in the middle. He ordered his crew to maintain a passive stance. Weapons remained offline. Shields remained steady. The ship's engine stayed quiet. Megan Rivera remarked that humans always made a strong first impression even when they tried not to. Captain Blake smiled at that. He knew she was right. Still, he felt uneasy. The alien ship's movements were not aggressive, but they were hesitant, like an animal unsure whether to approach or flee. Hours passed in tense stillness. The Korani waited for more information. The humans waited for a response. Neither side wanted a fight, but neither side trusted the other. Commander Lerk finally reported to his superiors. He sent scans, recordings, and a summary of the encounter. The Korani High Council debated the situation with growing concern. Some believed it was a dangerous trap. Others insisted the unknown ship was simply beyond their understanding and might not be hostile at all. They ordered Lerk to continue observing but not to engage. Meanwhile, in the human ship, Captain Blake decided to attempt a second message. This time he used multiple frequency bands in case the aliens had trouble receiving the first one. "Unknown vessel, we wish to establish peaceful contact. We request communication." The message drifted through space again. On the Korani ship, this second message finally translated more clearly. The words struck the crew with both relief and dread. The unknown ship wanted peace. That was good. But a ship with such strength asking for peace made them more nervous. Why did it need to state this twice? Why did it feel the need to assure them it meant no harm? Commander Lerk's instincts nagged at him. A creature does not reassure others unless it knows its presence is frightening. He wondered what kind of species built such a ship. And for the first time, he found himself hoping he would not learn the answer. Inside the Horizon Dawn, Captain Blake waited for a response. The crew stayed alert, but nothing changed. The alien ship still drifted at a distance, making small adjustments as if trying to decide whether to approach or retreat. Megan Rivera pointed out that the aliens were acting out of fear. Blake agreed. Humans had encountered fear many times. They understood it well. He hoped the aliens would not make a mistake because of it. The crew prepared more translation algorithms. They modified communication signals. They did everything they could to bridge the gap between the two species. But uncertainty still hung in the air. 2 ships, 2 civilizations, 2 fears, and neither one knew how close the galaxy was to changing forever. The Korani High Council gathered in a quiet circular chamber lit by soft blue light. Their expressions were tight and uneasy as they studied the recorded images of the unknown human ship. They had watched the scan results again and again, hoping they would change, hoping there would be some simple explanation. But each time they saw the same thing: a ship with no readable systems, no matching design, and no clear weakness. Many council members felt fear growing inside them. Others felt anger. They were used to understanding every ship that entered their space. They were used to being one of the strongest powers in this part of the galaxy. But now they faced something new, something they did not expect. Some council members insisted the ship must be bluffing. They claimed that no emerging species could build a vessel of that size or strength. They believed the unknown ship was damaged or hiding something. They argued that only a few test shots were needed to understand the truth. After long debate, the council decided to send 2 battleships to the border. Their goal was not to destroy the unknown ship, but to test it. They wanted to see how strong it really was. They wanted to know if the Korani still controlled their own region. Many hoped that 1 or 2 shots would show the unknown vessel was nothing special. Commander Lerk received the order with a heavy heart. He trusted his council, but he feared this decision. He had watched the unknown ship closely. He sensed something strange about it, something that did not match any threat he had ever known. But he followed the order because it was his duty. While the battleships traveled toward the border, Lerk's crew watched the unknown ship and reported every small movement. The ship still floated quietly. It did not take any aggressive action. It looked calm, almost harmless if not for its impossible size and unreadable signature. Inside the Horizon Dawn, Captain Aaron Blake met with his officers in the center of the bridge. New signals appeared on their long-range sensors. 2 large alien ships had entered the area and were approaching slowly. Megan Rivera frowned as she read the data. She guessed the aliens were bringing reinforcements. She also guessed those reinforcements were not coming to have a friendly conversation. Captain Blake kept his voice steady. He ordered the crew to remain calm. No one was to activate weapons unless the aliens attacked first. Earth's exploration ships followed strict rules. They did not start fights. They only defended themselves. The humans watched as the Korani battleships approached. Their designs were sleek and sharp, built for speed and strong attack. They moved with the confidence of ships that believed they controlled the region. Lieutenant Jordan Ellis studied their weapon systems. She noticed the charging signals building up on the alien ships. She warned the captain that they might be preparing to fire. Blake nodded slowly. He had expected this. He understood fear. He understood how some species reacted when they felt threatened. But he still hoped the aliens would give peace a chance. The 2 Korani battleships stopped at a safe distance and rotated their weapons toward the Horizon Dawn. The alien captains believed this would be enough to make the unknown ship back away or show its true nature. But the Horizon Dawn did not move. It held its position with quiet confidence, as though the alien weapons meant nothing at all. Aboard the Korani flagship, the captain felt irritation rising. He thought the unknown ship was mocking them. He believed it was refusing to acknowledge their strength. He ordered a controlled strike. The goal was not to destroy the ship. It was to damage it, weaken it, or force it to communicate. With a flash of light, the first barrage shot across the space between them. Inside the Horizon Dawn, alarms blinked for only a moment. The impact hit the ship's hull, but it did not crack, shake, or heat up. The energy washed across the outer layer and vanished like rain hitting stone. On the Korani bridge, silence filled the room. Their entire crew stared at the screens in disbelief. The scanners showed no damage, no energy loss, no shield fluctuation, nothing. They all expected some kind of reaction: smoke, sparks, structural shifts, at least a visible glow. But the unknown ship remained perfectly calm. Commander Lerk whispered that this was impossible. The science officer ran the numbers again. The result did not change. Their weapons had done absolutely nothing. Back on the Horizon Dawn, Megan Rivera raised an eyebrow. She had expected some effect, even a small one, but the ship behaved as though nothing had touched it. She glanced at the captain and asked if they should return fire. Captain Blake shook his head. Not yet. He wanted to give the aliens every chance to stand down peacefully, but the aliens were not ready to stop. The Korani battleships fired a second barrage. This one stronger. This one serious. They wanted to break the unknown ship's quiet arrogance. They wanted to see it struggle or retreat. The second blast hit the Horizon Dawn even harder. But again, nothing happened. The ship did not shake. The lights did not flicker. The hull did not dent. It was as if the ship had been built for much worse conditions, as if the galaxy's strongest weapons were nothing compared to what humans were used to surviving. On the Korani ships, fear spread quickly. It was no longer the fear of the unknown. It was the fear of something clearly beyond their control. Commander Lerk felt his heart sink. He had hoped that the unknown ship would show weakness, but now he realized the truth. This ship was not damaged. It was not bluffing. It was built from something far stronger than they were prepared to face. He begged his captain to stop firing, but the captain hesitated. He did not want to appear weak in front of the council. He did not want to retreat from a ship that had not even fought back. Captain Blake decided it was time to send a warning. He opened a channel and spoke clearly. "Alien vessels, we do not want to fight. Stop your attack and we will not harm you." The message traveled toward the Korani ships. Their systems translated the words with difficulty, but soon the meaning became clear. The unknown ship was offering peace, again, but it was also giving a warning. The Korani captain felt cold fear run through him. This was not how strong powers spoke. This was how storms spoke, quiet, steady, full of confidence. He finally ordered his crew to stop firing. But the moment he gave the command, a new alarm rang out. Their engines were overheating. Their shield cores were unstable. The previous attacks had drained too much power. The ship could not hold position safely anymore. Commander Lerk realized they needed to retreat. He sent the order to back away, but just as they tried to move, something unexpected happened. The Horizon Dawn released a single pulse of controlled electromagnetic force. The humans called it the EMP lance. It was a tool, not a weapon. It was designed to disable hostile systems without causing permanent harm. The pulse reached the Korani battleships in an instant. Every screen went dark. Every engine shut down. Every weapon dropped offline. The ships were not destroyed, not damaged, just completely shut down. Commander Lerk sat frozen in his chair. His crew stared around the darkened bridge with wide eyes. They could still breathe. The life support worked, but everything else was dead. The Korani realized the unknown ship had defeated them with a single, gentle move. It could have torn them apart. It could have blown them into dust, but it chose not to. It disabled them without hurting anyone. This act frightened them more than destruction would have, because this was control. This was power they could not understand. Inside the Horizon Dawn, Captain Blake watched the alien ships drift silently. He felt no triumph. He felt relief that no one had died. He told Megan Rivera to prepare a safe distance scan to make sure the aliens were unharmed. He then ordered a message sent to the Korani. "You are safe. Your ships are not damaged. We will assist when you are ready to talk." The humans waited in calm silence. The aliens waited in frightened silence. Two battleships, proud symbols of Korani strength, now floated helplessly beside the still, unshaken human warship. And across the galaxy, without knowing it yet, every species was about to learn that a new power had arrived. A power that should not exist. A power that no one was prepared to face. A power called humanity. The two Korani battleships drifted in the quiet space near the border zone, their engines silent and powerless. Only the soft hum of life support systems remained active. Inside the dark bridges, crew members tried to stay calm, but fear was heavy in the air. They had never been defeated like this before. They had never faced an enemy who could shut down two warships with a single pulse. Commander Lerk remained seated, staring at the blank screen where the image of the unknown human ship had last been shown. His mind struggled to understand what had happened. It was not just the physical defeat that troubled him. It was the ease of it. It was the way the unknown ship had shown mercy. Mercy was more frightening than destruction. Mercy meant control. While the Korani ships drifted helplessly, the Horizon Dawn stood nearby, calm and silent. Inside the human ship, Captain Aaron Blake watched the readings carefully. He did not want to cause harm. His only goal was to stop the battle without bloodshed, but he also knew the alien fleet would be terrified now, and fear could make any species dangerous. Megan Rivera stood beside him, studying the alien ship systems. She confirmed that the EMP pulse had disabled only non-essential functions. The aliens were safe. Their critical systems were stable, but they were helpless. Blake nodded and said they should wait. He wanted the aliens to understand that the Horizon Dawn was not a threat. He hoped they would accept communication soon. He hoped they would see that humans wanted peace, not war. On the Korani flagship, crew members tried to send emergency messages, but every system they used failed. The EMP pulse had shut down all long-range communication. Only internal lights and oxygen systems remained online. Panic began to spread. Some officers whispered that the unknown ship might attack again. Others feared the strange vessel might approach and take them prisoner. Commander Lerk ordered his crew to stay calm. He reminded them that the unknown ship had not harmed them. It could have destroyed both battleships if it wanted to. Instead, it had only disabled them. Lerk believed this was a sign that the unknown species did not want war. One of the young officers on his bridge asked the question everyone feared. What if they are waiting for permission to attack? Lerk took a deep, slow breath. He said he did not think so. He believed the unknown ship was waiting for the Korani to make the next move. He believed they were giving them a chance to think. Across the dark bridge, the crew tried to accept his answer, but none of them felt fully reassured. After a few minutes, the screens flickered. A soft signal pushed through the damaged systems. It was weak, but it was clear enough to display a message. Commander Lerk and his crew leaned forward as the human message appeared. "You are safe. We will help you when you are ready to talk." The simple words filled the quiet bridge. No threats, no demands, just calm reassurance. Yet the message frightened the Korani even more. The unknown ship had disabled them, blocked their systems, and now was offering help. The difference in power was too great. The Korani did not understand how to respond. Meanwhile, aboard the Horizon Dawn, Megan Rivera watched the alien ships closely. She noticed small life signs moving around inside. The aliens were trying to recover systems manually. She admired their determination. Even disabled, they were working hard to regain control. Captain Blake finally ordered the crew to activate a soft light beacon. This was a universal peace signal used by many species. It showed they were willing to communicate and not attack. The Horizon Dawn released the beacon slowly, letting it drift in the space between the ships. Commander Lerk saw the beacon appear on the screen. His heart tightened, but he also felt a small sense of hope. Maybe the unknown species truly wanted peace. Lerk decided to send a reply. He found a small emergency console that the EMP had not completely damaged. It was old, basic, and limited, but it still worked. With careful hands, he typed a short message. "We want to talk. We need time. We mean no harm." He sent the message toward the unknown ship. Inside the Horizon Dawn, Sam Carter received the reply. He smiled, relieved. The aliens were willing to talk. Blake gave a small sigh. He knew this was the start of something important. He ordered the team to prepare a translation program. It still struggled with alien language patterns, but with each message exchanged, the system learned faster. Blake sent a reply. "We understand. We will wait. You are not in danger." The message reached the Korani ships, and the translation formed clearly enough for them to read. Lerk closed his eyes briefly and let out a breath. They were not going to die today. The unknown ship was not going to attack, but fear still lingered. The Korani crew wondered whether this new species was truly peaceful or simply confident enough in its strength to be gentle. Hours passed, and the Horizon Dawn remained still. The Korani worked to restart their systems. It took time, but slowly they regained basic communication. Engines began to warm up again. Screens flickered back to life. Panic faded into exhaustion. When the Korani flagship finally restored short-range communication, Commander Lerk opened a direct channel to the Horizon Dawn. The screen lit up, showing Captain Blake's calm face. His expression was gentle, patient, and respectful. The Korani officers watched with wide eyes. This was their first clear look at a human. Captain Blake greeted them in simple words. "We are explorers. We did not come for war. We only defended ourselves." Commander Lerk replied with a shaky voice. "We did not understand your ship. We feared you. We fired first. We apologize." Blake nodded slowly. "We understand fear. We know what fear can make people do, but we want peace." On the Korani bridge, silent relief spread. They had expected anger. They had expected demands. They had expected threats. Instead, the human captain offered peace. Lerk asked the question that burned in everyone's mind. "What are you? How did you build a ship like this?" Blake answered simply. "We come from a world that is very difficult to live on. We learned to build strong things so we could survive." He did not brag. He did not speak proudly. He spoke as though it was normal, as though ships like the Horizon Dawn were simply a product of necessity. But to the Korani crew, his words sounded like the truth behind a legend. A species strong enough to build a ship that could ignore their weapons. A species calm enough to disable them without causing harm. A species dangerous enough to change everything. Commander Lerk asked if the humans intended to enter Korani territory. Blake answered no. He said they were only passing by on an exploration route. He said they had no desire to claim land or resources. This answer surprised the Korani officers. They could not understand why such a powerful species would not try to take advantage of their strength. One young Korani officer whispered to Lerk, "They do not act like conquerors." Lerk replied softly, "No, they act like something worse. They act like a species so strong they do not need to conquer." When the communication ended, the Korani ships slowly restarted their engines. They moved away cautiously, watching the horizon dawn with uncertainty and awe. Inside the human ship, the crew breathed a collective sigh of relief. They had avoided a war. They had made first contact. They had shown strength but not violence. Megan Rivera said that the aliens would likely spread stories about what happened. Captain Blake agreed. He knew this event would not stay quiet for long. Entire civilizations might hear about the mysterious human ship with impossible strength. Later, as the Horizon Dawn resumed its course, some crew members wondered what other species they would meet in the future. Some wondered how long it would take before someone challenged them again. Blake hoped it would not come to that. But across the region, the message spread quickly through the Korani networks. Rumors grew into stories. Stories grew into warnings. They spoke of a ship that shrugged off the strongest attacks, a ship that controlled battles without firing a weapon. A ship commanded by calm, patient beings who showed mercy even when faced with fear and hostility. The message spread farther, crossing borders and drifting through trade routes. "Be careful. A new species has arrived. Their ships should not exist. Their power is beyond reason, and they do not fear anything." The galaxy listened. The galaxy wondered, and the galaxy began to fear the humans. The Horizon Dawn continued moving through the quiet star system, leaving the Korani border behind. The ship traveled at a steady pace, calm and controlled as if nothing unusual had happened. But inside the ship, the crew understood that everything had changed. Their peaceful mission had turned into the first major contact between humans and a powerful alien species, and that meeting had created fear across an entire region. Captain Aaron Blake walked across the bridge, checking the systems and speaking with his officers. He knew what the crew was thinking. They wondered if the Korani would tell other species. They wondered how the rest of the galaxy would react. Humans had entered the wider universe with caution and curiosity, but now they had made a reputation without meaning to. Megan Rivera joined Blake near the main screen. She studied the distant stars with a quiet expression. She said she believed the Korani would not forget what happened. She said they would tell others. Blake agreed. News of powerful ships always traveled fast. News of peaceful ships with impossible strength traveled even faster. He hoped the story would bring respect, not fear. He hoped other species would welcome humans instead of fearing them. But he also understood the truth. Fear was stronger than curiosity. Many species would hear what happened and think humans were too strong, too capable, too dangerous. Meanwhile, far behind them, the Korani battleships limped home. Their engines worked again, but their spirit was shaken. They sent messages to their council explaining everything. They described the human ship in detail. They described how their weapons did nothing. They described how a single pulse from the human ship disabled them completely. The Korani council listened with disbelief. Some tried to deny the report. Some tried to blame equipment failure. Some insisted it had to be a trick. But the recordings were clear. The images were clear. The proof was too strong to ignore. A new power had entered the galaxy, a power that broke all known limits. The council members argued for many hours. Some wanted to send a larger fleet to confront the humans. Others warned that doing so would be suicide. Some believed the humans wanted to take control of the region. Others believed the humans wanted peace but should still be watched closely. After long debate, the council agreed on one thing. They would not attack the humans again, not unless they had no choice. They would observe, learn, and prepare. They would warn their allies. Within days, distant species began to hear rumors. Traders whispered stories. Patrol ships reported seeing strange signals. Old communication channels carried warnings. They all said the same thing. A ship appeared on the Korani border. It looked damaged but was not. It moved slowly but could not be stopped. It took their strongest attacks without a scratch. It shut down their best warships with a single pulse. It spoke with calm voices and offered peace. And it belonged to humans. Many species had never heard of humans before. Those who had only knew old reports about a distant world filled with storms, quakes, and dangerous creatures. A world that many believed no intelligent life could survive for long. Now they learned that the beings from that world had not only survived, they had become something strong. Inside the Horizon Dawn, the ship traveled farther into empty space. The stars stretched like bright rivers across the dark. The crew relaxed but remained alert. They did not know when the next encounter might happen. Captain Blake held a small meeting with his officers in the communication room. He told them the situation with the Korani might shape future human relations. He told them they had to act carefully from now on. The galaxy was watching. Sam Carter said he hoped the next species they met would be calmer. Megan Rivera added that they might also be more afraid. Blake agreed with both. Fear could bring caution, but it could also bring danger. As the ship moved, the crew detected faint signals from a distant region. They sounded like probes scanning the area. Blake guessed that some species were already trying to learn more about humans. He ordered the Horizon Dawn to keep its defensive systems ready but not aggressive. He said they must show strength without showing hostility. Back on the Korani homeworld, the council held another private meeting. They watched the recording of the Horizon Dawn again. They observed how calm the humans were. They wondered how many ships humans had. They wondered what human fleets looked like. One council member suggested that if one human ship could defeat 2 battleships, an entire human fleet might destroy a whole empire. This idea created deep fear. Commander Lerk was invited to speak to the council. He explained everything he witnessed. He told them the humans had many chances to destroy the Korani ships but did not. He said humans acted with restraint and calm. One council member asked if restraint made the humans less dangerous. Lerk answered simply, "No, it makes them more dangerous because they have the power to destroy but they choose not to. That is the power of confidence, and that is what we should fear." Meanwhile, aboard the Horizon Dawn, the humans detected a small transport ship approaching. It sent a simple message in broken translation. "We request peaceful contact." Captain Blake accepted the message. The transport ship belonged to a small species called the Relin. They were traders with weak military power but strong curiosity. They had heard the rumors and wanted to see if they were true. The Horizon Dawn slowed to a safe distance. Blake opened a visual channel. The Relin appeared on the screen, small, thin creatures with large, curious eyes. The Relin leader greeted Blake nervously. He asked if the stories about human strength were real. Blake answered calmly. He said humans wanted peace. He said humans did not seek war. He said the Horizon Dawn acted only in self-defense. The Relin leader nodded but still seemed nervous. He said the galaxy feared the unknown, and humans were the greatest unknown of all. Blake understood. He did not try to boast or explain too much. He only said humans would respect others as long as others respected them. The Relin agreed. They left peacefully but promised to tell others that humans could be reasoned with. As days passed, more species learned the truth. Some were afraid, some were curious, some wanted to avoid humans at all costs, others wanted to meet them. But every species understood one thing: the galaxy had changed. Inside the Horizon Dawn, Megan Rivera asked Blake if he thought humans would one day form alliances with other species. Blake said he hoped so. He said humanity could bring something good to the galaxy, but he also warned that some species might react with fear and aggression. He said humans must stay patient. Weeks passed. The Horizon Dawn continued exploring, scanning planets and marking new paths, but everywhere they went, they sensed the quiet presence of watchers. Distant ships monitored them. Probes tracked their movement. Species collected information. Humanity had become a mystery. Humanity had become a warning. Humanity had become a story told in quiet voices. And still, the Horizon Dawn moved peacefully. One night cycle, Captain Blake stood alone near the main observation window. The stars shone softly across the glass. He thought about Earth far behind him. He thought about the future full of uncertainty. Megan Rivera approached quietly. She asked what he was thinking. Blake said he hoped the galaxy would choose peace instead of fear. He said humans were strong but not perfect. He said humans still had much to learn. Megan agreed. She said the galaxy would change with or without them. But with humans in it, the change might be faster. As they watched the stars together, a soft message arrived from a nearby listening post. It said the Korani Council had sent a final statement to all neighboring species. The message said, "Do not attack the humans. Do not provoke them. They are peaceful, but they are not weak." Captain Blake read the message carefully. He understood what it meant. The Korani now feared humanity, but they also respected them. And respect was the first step toward understanding. The Horizon Dawn continued its journey into the unknown. Behind them, stories grew. Ahead of them, new worlds waited. And across the galaxy, one quiet truth spread from system to system. If the humans arrived, do not start a fight, because the humans would finish it. But they would always offer peace first.